fuel. That sounds good. If in doubt, grab the one that uses the most fuel. Geez, I need to unlock a lot of stuff. When do I active is locked? Oh, so it must just be linked to like a different suspension. Yukon. It's phase 2, I think. I'll have to go and look at that. Justin Lynch, hello, how's it going, dude? Good to have you join us for the old stream. Pretty massive tyres, this thing. Oh, they look nice. Sod it. Sold. Well, see what the other ones are, but gonna have to be something pretty special. Nah, we'll keep them ones. Walker Hendrick, what up? How's it going, dude? Good to have you join us. Oklahoma Hellcat, hello, SnowRunner. How's it going, Nate? Mate? That said Nate then, I think. Oh, Winch. Offline. That'll do. Rebel by choice, morning. How's it going, dude? Cold water regrets. Goddamn horse. He'll be around. We'll have to grab one in a minute. That's what she said, of course. Yeah, for today, like mainly, there's well, this mod to try. I got a truck that sort of looks somewhere between the P512 PF and the P16. It's called Prometheus. In fact, just quickly, I'll go on show you. And then AGL as well. Ford F750 mod. So we'll go and try that one out. Yeah, there's the Prometheus truck. It's yeah, probably more like the P512 PF, but yeah, there was another truck as well called like the Basilisk or something. I've got the mod, but it takes up so much RAM space to put it on here that I could put hardly any of the mods on, so I had to pick between the Prometheus and the Basilisk. Even that Prometheus one takes a bloody lot of memory, to be honest. Yeah, so just trying to get them all on at the same time is a bit of a beast. Kieran Cousins, hey Wolf, how's it going, dude? Good to have you joining us. Thomas, is that Racor or Rachor? I'm sorry, again, pretty terrible with names and pronunciations. Yo, what's up? I'm not too bad, cheers, dude. How are you doing? Yeah, this thing. Oh, I thought it. I'm sure in the picture it had a different scoopy thing to this. That makes sense. What the hell? That's pretty cool though. Pretty fucking massive bale it's gonna be grabbing. God damn, looks like a dick holder. Log fork. Pretty what is this, like prehistoric Jurassic Park sized logs and bales? What are we feeding? Fucking Brontosaurus or something. Which ones do we fuck around with? Probably that one. I don't know actually. That one seems kind of interesting. Brillinia, good evening. Hello, how's it going? Good to have you joining us. Truth Lies. I'm so depressed, Wolf. Why? What's up? Also, mate, it's I've been feeling a bit like the last. I don't know. Must be something going around, or just one of them, one of them months, one of them years. 2022's been, isn't it? Sooner we see the back end of that, the better. Although you never know the way things are going. 2023 will probably be hugging nuclear missiles or something. What is that thing? Yeah, just more. Nah. More stuff to get in the way. Oh yeah, that was a bale grabber. Right. I'm not too fussed about colour. I just normally get a bright colour so I can see like what's colour coded on it, if that makes sense. There was a few mods back in there. Not mods, in fact. I think it was trucks in the game. The Kolob, the long nose one. That had like when you painted it, it wouldn't paint some of it. It was a bit of a bug for a while. I'm pretty sure they've sorted it by now. Yeah, like you say, this mod, I don't really know what I'm going to go and do with it. Well, I'm just going to have a little drive around. I mean, mission-wise, I'm not too sure what its uses will be. It's pretty big, though. What she said, of course. Yeah, the Z2 Zix. Is that Zix? Oh no, Ziz. ZIIZ 993K. It's a pretty new mod, so if you go on the list by like date added, it's pretty nippy, which is nice. Even though it's articulated, it's very Like, yeah, it's actually got some good oomph to it, so it doesn't feel like it'll be too much of an issue, and it actually feels quite snappy. What map are you on? Crossroads. I'm not sure I'll be on this map for too much longer. We'll see. Again, it's just like the part where I'm chatting at the beginning and not really paying too much attention, although, let's be honest, I really am paying attention. Yeah, just try this out really. It looked like a pretty cool new mod. Z2 is... his name's like ZXP90 or something. He's got some good mods. I've used loads of his. They normally take quite a bit of memory, but yeah, so I can't really have them all on all the time. It's the same guy that did the tractor mod that I was using last week. Yeah, what are your plans? Yeah, just I'm gonna have a quick mess around with this mod, and then get on with some contracts. Really, probably get that Prometheus truck out at some point. Try AGL's F750, and then yeah, I've got other mods that are already I've used before and stuff. So crack some of them out, and yeah, just chip away at some more of the contracts mainly. Start working towards getting the garage unlocked on Harvest Corp. Truth lies, just shit, not sleeping well lately. Yeah, same here to be honest, dude. A few months ago I was sort of in a nice little pattern, but yeah, the last month or so, it's been all over the place, and it's yeah, it's just been making me feel like pretty ill all the time, and yeah, just kind of pretty out of whack at the minute. Doesn't feel very Christmassy as well this year. I don't know if it's just me, but even though it's been ridiculously cold in the UK for like the last week, there's no snow though still. What a piss take. Like I said, it's supposed to get warmer tomorrow or the day after, and then it's going to piss down with rain for the entire week. Which rain's pretty normal here. UK's used to that stuff. But yeah, wouldn't have minded a little bit of snow just to go with the freezing my bollocks off. It was that cold. I was like opening the fridge to get warm. David Kaiser, hey Wolf, how's things? Yeah, not too bad, cheers dude, how are you doing? Just got a yellow loaf. I'm serious understeer going on there. We have to see. He does look like he fits pretty damn well. Right, arm grab, arm release, and god. Oh, so that's not too bad. They're only like, you don't actually have to go into a separate menu. Oh no, there is a menu for lifting it up. Squeezes on pretty well though. Good old loaf. Again with the steering, oh, it's probably because I'm like jiggling around a bit there. But you can see how quick it wants to kick in. Hit plan B. And squeeze it long ways. That's definitely what she said. Definitely fit a loaf on the back of there as well, I reckon. What buttons is it? I always get these mixed up. This might hold onto it a little bit more securely. What does arm release mean then? Is it just me, or did it squeeze close enough a minute ago and now it doesn't want to? So it's only going to A up. Not too sure what the deal is with that. Maybe I've got one loaf though. He might fall out. If he does, I'll just carry on driving. But we've got to try. Me beast. I'll squeeze it out of the garage. I have to say already, for again the size of the truck and all the rest of it, it's a lot more like efficient and quick to drive than I was expecting, which is a good thing. This goddamn horse, he always gets back to his wheels. It's one of the only ones where the articulated steering isn't even annoying me yet at the minute either. So actually not kill trees for fun. Love taking soil samples, goddamn professional. Pretty good. We got about a foot of snow here a couple of days ago. Did you? About a foot. Yeah, that's pretty juicy. I've not even seen like a foot of snow here since probably like the 90s. Well, you get little like snow drifts where it might pile up in the like corner of the garden and that. But yeah, back when I was a kid, we used to get some pretty good blasts of snow. Truth lies. Well, goddamn, she lifted. I must admit, this thing's a lot more. Kind of how it should be, where if it's gonna just clamp them, it'll clamp kind of just to a strength where then it doesn't even seem to matter what you're picking up. Whereas, like I said, in this game, with the cranes and stuff like that, they seem too limited. They should just work like for what they're intended for, without being too fussy about the how much weight they can lift and anything. Because even if they can lift everything in the game, it's not going to break the game in any way. If I could lift a colob with a crane, I'm not suddenly going to be able to cheat half the game. Just something. I had a bit of wet snow today. Oh, did you? Apparently, we're supposed to be getting freezing rain here. I thought they used to call that snow. Truth lies. Hey Justin. Hey Truth. David Kaiser. I had to drive a dump truck through the snowstorm, so that was fun. True. It depends where. I don't mind driving, but you know when you're having to, like, if you're in a big fat dump truck, for example, is having to like weave through narrow roads and all that sort of stuff. It'd be a bit more hectic. Just cruising along like this would be nice. But then over here in the UK, we've got some seriously narrow, little winding medieval streets that are, yeah, were designed for like a horse, not a goddamn professional, like an actual horse to go down. And these days, yeah, you see big lorries trying to squeeze their way down there. I don't really envy that job. We're looking at 40 centimetres of snow on Monday, bloody hell. Yeah, we definitely don't get snow like that over here. I mean, technically, earlier in the week it did snow, but it was so, like, it didn't even settle or anything, so I'm not even really counting it. Got to at least be able to make a snowball for it to count. This thing gets a bit of a shift on as well, I've got to say. Overall, I like this already, I can tell. It's pretty impressed, because I was thinking, like, with the other dump truck stuff, and I like some of the other dump trucks, like, they're funny, but this thing actually feels like it'd have, like, a pretty good degree of practicality as well. In fact, I know I'm not too far yet. I'll go to the trailer store, see if it can have trailers. So if it can, it feels like this thing would be hauling quite a lot of stuff. I don't think heavy cargoes or anything would really bother it. I don't know what the deal is with this when I go into a ditch, though. I did notice that a minute ago. Not sure if there's a bit of a lack of power. Ah, wait there. I don't know. It sort of felt then like as I was fully articulated, like maybe the tyres are getting caught. I'm not too sure with that, but for the most part it doesn't seem to be an issue. Kill that tree now. Declared war. Most I've seen was almost 3 feet. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I think the most when I was a kid, it was probably, yeah, somewhere around a foot or two, depending, like I say, it might have swept a little bit deeper in patches in the garden. And yeah, it was pretty cool. But I believe it was 1997. I got a Goodyear, toy Goodyear truck for Christmas. And I was driving it around in the snow, and then I ran over some dog shit. And yeah, like, goddamn, that Christmas present didn't last long. Well, not in a new condition anyway. Northern Alberta, Canada here, minus 30, Jesus. It's typical with snow as well, yeah, that'd be pretty damn cold. Over here, it's it's been about -8, I think, -10. Apparently up in Scotland it got down to -17, but I don't think it got that low where I am, sort of more in the middle of the country. Yeah, -30 is pretty crazy, that. Goddamn unkillable trees. It's got me. Oh god. Just any tree. Well, it pulled hard enough that it pulled an actual proper tree out of the ground. It's not too handy at the minute, but it does mean it's got some pretty good winch strength to it. Yeah, it's ripping tree. Oh, then can I not rip this stupid tree out of the ground? There's another unkillable tree. Well, it's sticking up there as planned. In fact, it's going to be quicker to do that. Alexa just said we have a winter weather advisory in effect, so maybe some real snow is coming. That's true, yeah. Although they do put out quite a lot of, just especially like the news over here at the minute. They love making everything like an imminent disaster. So now apparently it's going to go warming up above freezing. Now they're saying like, "Oh, be careful though, sudden change in temperature," and it's like they're trying to dramatise everything to get them old ratings. But are you in America though, which like that seems to be a lot more kind of overall when you get snow you seem to get it worse than we do here. Note so it's worth lifting the arm up. Just to be fair, this is a bit of an awkward bit of the map. There is like an invisible mud bank here, yeah. It's the only part of the vehicle where it seems to... It's like there's not enough power going to the front wheels. It feels fine driving along. It feels like there's plenty of power, but I've already noticed it a couple of times. When you're going up like a bit of a steep bank in front of you, those front tyres don't really seem to be doing a whole lot. Not sure what that's about. Just all I need to see is if it can have a bloody trailer. Get me up the hill. That's when I need a goddamn horse already. Action. Yeah, apart from that, like it's feeling pretty good, but I don't know what the deal is. Like, I don't know if it is actually the front axle that's not got enough power going to it. It seems fine when you're driving along, unless it's almost like something's catching. But I don't know. Maybe there's like an invisible hitbox or something. There is on a few vehicles. My dad told me at one time in the 70s that they got a storm that dumped a little over 8 feet. He said it was crippling for everyone. Yeah, that's pretty insane. That is. I remember my mum saying when it must have been probably the 70s as well, and she said it was pretty much covered like the whole front doorway, and I believe it was like probably 4 odd foot of snow, but I think because it had just swept against their door as well, it like completely covered the whole front door was completely blocked. Kaiser, and they had to use bulldozers to clear the snow. Yeah, we never really get bulldozers over here. We've got gritting lorries. I think some of them have got the bulldozer. Oh, sorry, the snowplow thing. I was thinking I'm getting mixed up there. Yeah, I suppose if you're cracking out bulldozers for it, it's definitely some pretty serious stuff. But yeah, even over here, they don't want to send the gritting lorries out, so they try and avoid it at all costs. Right, other than the fact that it's been pretty bloody cold over here this week, it's the actual weather's been like really nice, sort of like really clear skies, sunny days. Even though Try and avoid them sunny days as much as I can. Not sure if it's when I fully steer, if like something invisible on the hitbox is wedging against the tyre, like that could have something to do with that. I don't know. But anyway, I'll go to a normal truck in a minute. I suppose while we're here, it'd be rude not to see. In fact, that's a point. If it's not going to squeeze them things close enough, then it wouldn't be able to pick up this size bale anyway. It'd have to be some kind of Tyrannosaurus Rex bale. And when you click release, squeeze it, I don't know. Well, to its credit, I have to say, just clicking those options on the menu isn't actually that bad. This thing does seem to, like, within a matter of seconds you can pick a hay baler. Obviously, if you're doing it a mission, oh, there you go. That's not this thing's fault. For some reason, this game, when I move hay bales like X amount of distance from where they originally spawn in the field, it just locks them in place. I was gonna say I sort of forgot about it, but yeah, clearly they're still doing it. They've not fixed that bug. This thing does eat trees for breakfast most of the time, except for that tree I run over. Be like impossible to kill one, but yeah, it's not really this thing's fault. Oh, so it does have trailers. That's pretty cool. So you can have, yeah, 4 slot. I assume all the towable ones. Some 8 slot towable one. Is that on Fox's? Or is that 10 pot? I can't remember. I don't normally see that one. It's pretty cool though. 10 slot. That's plenty, and it's like a axle one, and it looks like it's got a big fat triple dolly axle thing, so it won't kind of like, even when you turn sideways, the trailer won't start sort of tipping over the side of its own wheels. When you've just got one axle, it's pretty terrible. Well, yeah, overall I'd say this mod is seems pretty, like, more practical than I thought it would be. I just thought, yeah, I'll get it because it's a new mod, we'll go and mess around with it. But yeah, I can actually, for the most part, drive this thing around. And actually, having trailers, I could get a few things done with this. Right, let's go and pick some missions to do. Just leave it there. Oh, in fact, no, it's alright, we'll recover it. And the goddamn horse as well, I'm not leaving him out. Right, first of all, I suppose pick a mission and see what map we're going to be starting from. Clean slate. Vehicle spare parts. So just 3 of them, that's not too bad. Ecological crisis averted, who gives a shit? We'll run over a polar bear if they're going to give me like a free truck for doing it, especially on a game. It's like turning into Grand Theft Auto 5. Well, they're over there. Where did I have to go and drop them off again? Heartlands, Heartlands, Heartlands. That's not too bad then. There's a good chance to try this, what was it called? Prometheus, I think? Yeah. Not seen that Aliens film in a while, but I remember that was a pretty bad film, if I remember correctly. There isn't many good films these days. I spent $750 on food and beer today, so we're set. Yeah, that's a good old watch. That is that. Yeah, for Christmas. So I say, what date is it today? No, it's on phone. 18th. So is it like a week today? Again, it seems to just be creeping up on me. Suspension, what do we want? 53-inch tyres, that's not bad. Just a Lynch, winter isn't as fun no more. Everybody got a 4x4 now. Never see anyone getting stuck anymore. That's true, see loads of people back in the day. I remember as a kid when I was on the school bus and on the way to school there's like this big fat hill that goes like down really steeply and back up the other side. I don't think it was this, but you'd almost imagine like a massive bomb went off there. And that's just like, yeah, you're sort of driving down into the crater and back out the other side. And this would have been in the 90s, and there was a Rolls Royce coming the other way. I can't remember, I don't know, like a silver ghost. It would be some, like, imagine just a 90s sort of Rolls Royce. And yeah, we were coming down one side of the hill, braking and just skidding down the hill pretty slowly there, about 10 mile an hour. And the Rolls Royce was coming the other way and doing the same thing. Slammed his brakes on, locked up, was just skidding down the other side, and just as it got to the bottom of the hill it went into the grass verge and rolled over into the sort of ditch and hedge at the side. And yeah, just in general, because I lived in the countryside, so I lived like pretty much at the bottom of like a pretty big hill as well, and yeah, every year it was like something to watch. Just everyone getting stuck. But yeah, it's true. Like there is a lot more people now that have got 4x4s, so it's ruined the fun. I say overall though, I like going out in the snow. I've said it before, but yeah, just me and my brothers and mates and that would all go out when it's been snowing, because just for some reason everyone's absolutely sort of terrified of it. So you just get like all the roads, especially the back roads in the countryside and all that, just all to yourself. You'd see miles and miles of roads that have just never even been driven on. You can sort of tell that no one's driven on the snow. And yeah, just go around fucking around in the middle of nowhere, really. Sorry, my throat and voice has gone a little bit this week. Stronger crane. I think I put the stronger crane mod on this week, so I'm not sure if that's part of that. That's cool. It's got at least a 3 slot side, but did that just take the crane off me though? Yeah. Not like it's the end of the world, but sort of worth knowing. Or I could just go to the trailer store. I might go to the trailer store, to be honest, because I'm probably gonna have to bring a goddamn professional with me. Be rude not to, really. Get that one. For the most part, we'll see if we can get some fog lights. But and what's the bumpers like? Now we'll leave it like that. It's a pretty nice looking truck. It'll do. It's more like it. It's more like a truck horn should be. Squeaky little weird horns. That Prometheus mod is my absolute favourite mod, with the sound of it and everything. The MNN XL tyres are best. Is that the ones I just got? Oh yeah, that was it. I was going to go and get a load. What's that goddamn horse? I know he's busy. He's chilling. Is that Maritas or Marites Tigleo? Nice mod. I must admit, it looks pretty nice so far. It feels like it was set off pretty nicely as well. Obviously I've not driven it that far at the minute, but it's looking good. I certainly like the look of it. So I suppose it does pretty much like the P512 PF. Kind of like a bigger White Western Star as well, that kind of look. Maritas long sideboard, please. I tell you, on the I'll still be driving this tonight. I'll put it on for a different one, just because if I put the long sideboard on, it won't let me have the crane. But I must admit, I did want that long sideboard. You don't get many in this game. But yeah, after this mission, I'm pretty certain I'll be using this truck again, because it does look pretty cool. It's in the mud tyres section. I believe, is that the ones I put on then? I think I did go down to the mud tyres section. They definitely look pretty nice. I won't draw too many waypoints, but just to explain roughly where we're going. Down to that warehouse, so yeah, I want to go to the trailer store. I might as well do the usual, and just cut across here. Yeah, we'll see how well it goes up that bump in the road compared to what that hay bale grabbing thing was doing. We'll figure it out. Let's go. Playing with mods is fun. Yeah, it is, definitely. I do enjoy some of the mods. And there's bloody loads now as well. Again, I just wish they'd up the amount of like RAM space and all that we can have. And I'd have loads more on. Even tonight I had to delete a couple, just like unsubscribe from them, which I didn't want to do. One of them was that fairly new RSK truck that I was using probably a couple of weeks ago now. Which was a bloody nice truck. He did the RSK Mustang pack or something a little while back. And that was nice as well, but yeah, it eats a shitload of memory. See that? You can't really tell, but that mud, yeah, it's a lot more severe than it sort of looks when you're approaching it. I have to say though as well, yeah, the sound of this is nice. Go to stickers option, it has special lighted stickers. Oh, does it? Okay, I'll carry on with this now, but I'll have to take it back to the garage at some point and, yeah, readjust a few things, get some of them stickers, probably get a big sideboard on it. Marie says, do you have more mods? I've got quite a few on at the minute. I've got the Azov Iceberg, quite a few of Fox's mods to be honest, the Twice Twin Steer, the Paystar. What else have I got? I just kind of autopilot go through the list each week. I've got quite a few AGL mods, got the F750, obviously the goddamn horse, AGL loaf in the back. Yeah, this does have nice engines now. This is about the kind of engine sound I'd want in, like, roughly speaking, in all the trucks. You can hear it, but it's not overbearing. It's not up to the point where you're thinking, oh, after 5 minutes I'd want to turn the volume down or anything. It's actually quite nice to hear, like an actual proper roar of an engine going. You can tell as well, for anyone that's sort of not too keen on mods because if they think they're like a bit OP or anything, this feels nice to drive, but it by no means feels broken or anything like that. It feels like it sort of fit in pretty well with all like the normal trucks in the game, really. No, they are special models. Drive carefully. Or hold your breath. Even though I do have the excuse of trying to read the comments at the same time. I've got to be honest. 99% of it is just me. You know what, first I'm going to turn around. This thing. I said this the other week as well, and someone else in the comments agreed with me, which, according to the rules of the internet, that makes it factually accurate. But I actually do think they might have done something, whether on purpose or by accident, to this ramped flatbed, because, as has been witnessed in many of my videos, I use this more than I want to, because it's just handy the fact that you can have a sideboard and the ramped flatbed. It's 6 lots of cargo space and all the rest of it. But yeah, this thing drives me mad. It tips over all the time and all the rest of it. Whereas I've been using it for a few missions recently, and touch wood, it's actually been pretty good to me. And someone else said in the comments as well, they've got a feeling that they may have done something to it, because they said the same thing, that it's not really fucked them over either for a little while, which is rare for this trailer. So like I said, I almost can't imagine them purposely fixing it. There's a chance, but I don't know. Or the other option is like, yeah, just by some miracle, as they've updated the game or whatever. It's kind of broke some kind of background coding going on, and it's just reverted to what seems like more of a normal trailer. It's still an absolute nightmare to reverse it or anything. When physics in this game can screw you harder than a Skyrim skeleton. I need to play Skyrim, but I still know what you mean. Well, I assume they're pretty similar to the skeletons on Oblivion. Used to scare the shit out of me going into those like random caves in the middle of nowhere, but as was my desire to loot everyone and everything on the map, including the skeletons, I had to take that chance. But yeah, even as a grown adult, going in like the caves on that game, you get some fucking skeleton come screaming at you. Freaked me out a little bit. SnowRunner, did you go ahead and purchase the year 3? I'm waiting for the next month to purchase it, then it's hurry up and wait. Do you know what? I haven't actually. I completely forgot to even go and look at it. I appreciate you reminding me, to be honest. Yeah, I'll have to go and do that. I've just been bloody busy this week, and I'm catching up. I've been replying to comments. I've been using my phone this week, having to make phone calls, wait for phone calls and all sorts, so I've just not been on my phone for anything else a lot, because the battery goes flat pretty quick. But yeah, I'm kind of now we're at the weekend, I ain't got many phone calls and that to fuck around with. I've been able to catch back up. As well, just what I remember, there's I've been having to edit some of my videos because I applied for my channel to get monetization and it rejected me because of I believe it's because of some of the videos have got like copyrighted music in them, which I don't know why it matters. Not that like I don't mind that it wouldn't let me put adverts on them, but yeah, it just seems to completely reject it. So I've been editing some. I'm pretty reluctant specifically to edit the loaf video, but I'm just letting you know if there's any like any videos that you with like some music section in it that you like, you might want to go and have one last look, because I might end up having to remove them. Which I have still got the loaf video saved on my PlayStation, so even if I have to make another channel and upload it to there, I'll figure something out. On sometimes in Skyrim or Fallout, the skeleton prop would spaz out on the floor and slap your health bar to near zero. No, you don't want that. You want to kick the shit out of that skeleton for doing that. I've never played Fallout either. It's one of them series I never really got into. I nearly did when, was it Fallout 4 was coming out, but then that was like a bit of a giant buggy mess, so that kind of put me off even wanting to go back through the series, really. I've heard good things about the game in general. Certainly there's a lot of like fans of that game. I might go up this way just to give it a bit more of an off-road challenge, yeah, because I'm probably going to end up cutting across that bit of the road. Don't want to make it too easy for it. Let's see what it can do. Again, someone said the other week in the comments I draw too many waypoints, which I don't strictly disagree with, but it's funny that someone was like, nope, can't handle it, I've got to tell him. Which I do it more because I never really know who's like going to watch the video. They might have just been on the game, they might not have fully uncovered the map or whatever, and if they just want to see the line I've drawn across the map, even if they haven't uncovered the map yet, it just kind of helps with that. But yeah, I do draw a lot. I mean, he's not wrong. Yeah, that'll do. We'll figure the rest out. Piggy says, om nom nom. That's what I was referring to. And he says, where are you going? I believe I've got to go over, is it, yeah, Heartland's map for all of them, I think, isn't it? Yeah. That was me, then I'll let go of the steering. Although I've put a 10-speed gearbox in this. Which I'm not saying is a bad thing, there may be other gearboxes that are, like, got less gears to go through. Which it isn't really the gearbox's fault, but again, I'm convinced this map's got some kind of a gear cap going on. If you want a good Fallout, play New Vegas. Wasted many hours on that. Yeah, I have actually heard good things about that. I nearly got that, like, I think when it first came out. What game did I get instead? That was like one of the finalists that I narrowed it down to, but then... Oh man. I can't remember. I've got like a bag of PS3 games. I found the other week, and I don't believe anyway I've got a PS3 that actually works at the minute, but yeah, looking through some of them games, there were some bloody good games. There doesn't seem to be like as many great games these days. Even like I had the Resistance games. I don't remember them from when like the PS3 first came out. That was a pretty good game. I think they did Resistance 2 and 3 in the end, which was still not terrible. But yeah, I think Resistance, like the original, I remember that pretty well. Yeah, that was good. There was just loads of other stuff. What was that noise? God knows, is that just a loaf? Is that just a prank, bro? Just casually chilling, floating in the air. Fucking Aladdin or something. Just an inch. Oftentimes, oh, sorry dude, it just jumped up. Oftentimes, DLCs and Skyrim in it. Is that you saying like you might get a bundle? Which yeah, Skyrim, it definitely, I'd imagine it's one of them games I could plough hours and hours into, because yeah, the Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Played that thing ridiculous amounts. And I completed most of the missions on the game. As I said, I was just obsessed with robbing everybody blind, just hoarding everything into like, I don't know, every house I could take over. Wherever I could load my wares into a chest and it'd actually stay there. And the bloody guards on that game stop criminal scum who violated the law. They were like fucking Terminators and things. Cody Hopewell, any tips for the Yukon maps? I'm doing the main chapter quests and man, they just seem so damn long. While getting long logs to the sawmill. Yeah, I agree. I'm trying to even think of tips wise. I put it this way, I didn't do all the missions, or I still haven't as of yet, on the Yukon because yeah, there were some pretty long missions. I had frame rate issues going on as well, and it was around the same time that the mods came out, so I just kind of got diverted onto them instead. I don't really know. As for advice, I mean, if you've got stuff like the Zix, that'd probably pair pretty well with that kind of map. But I think there's no way around it. They were bloody long missions. I remember I got some of the gold mine missions done, but certainly not all of them. Which at some point, well, I would revisit. I have plans to revisit. I don't know whether I'll do it like on this, well, not this playthrough because this is my mod one, or end up doing like a new game plus and doing it that way. But I definitely want to do the new game plus, and I will be spending a bit of time on that. But at the same time, I kind of put a hell of a lot of time and effort into my normal playthrough, so I would like to carry on chip away at the missions I've not done on there so far. Oftentimes you can get a bundle on the PlayStation Store. It has both Fallout 4 Game of the Year Edition Oh, and Sky. Oh, right. Are they both Bethesda or whatever that company's called? It's funny, it used to be a company that was like absolutely knocking it out of the park, could do no wrong. And then I think around the time of the Fallout, getting their reputation took a little bit of a hit. But overall they do make bloody good games again. Elder Scrolls, even before that, yeah, when I was a teenager my mate was playing Elder Scrolls Morrowind. And I played it a little bit, I mostly watched him playing it because it was just watching someone play it that was like, knew what they were doing and all the rest of it. Evil Gaming 2020, yo, how's it going, dude? Good to have you join us. Dactyl Gaming, even Mr. Wolf, Hopeful as well. I apologise, dude, it jumped up there. I appreciate it though, cheers for popping in, and yeah, I'm not too bad, thanks, man. How are you doing? Yukon and the Death Snow maps, Lake Coved and Imandra were not too pleasant. Yeah, Imandra was pretty goddamn brutal. It'd be interesting in a way to go back to it with like some of the newer trucks we've got, but off the top of my head, the stuff like the Zix I imagine would do better on Imandra, but overall it's I think a lot of the DLC trucks and that we've got, I don't really think any of them would hold up too well. I'm doing the main chapters in order of maps, then doing tasks after unless they are required. The Yukon is just something else. I do have the Zix. Yeah, again I fully agree, like I feel like I did quite a few videos on that phase, and I think I've still got quite a few to do, really. Yeah, they're both Bethesda. Wonder what they're doing then, like these days. Are they working on like a new Fallout game or a new Elder Scrolls, or are they just? I think Elder Scrolls Skyrim's like an online thing now, isn't it? I think that's probably doing pretty well. Dactyl Gaming doing well, thanks, and the channel is growing. Yeah, that's good news. Good to hear. It does take a little while, but if you stick at it, then yeah, kind of just gotta keep going with it, really, and it sort of just builds up over time. Piggy, what non-scout class vehicle do you use as a scout when you feel like going wild? I use the Western White Star 4964 with maintenance frame. What non-scout class do you use? Probably, I don't know, I'd sort of be inclined to say maybe the Dolphin, or I don't know. It's not a bad question. I'm trying to think of what trucks I'd just kind of quickly nip out in and use as a scout. Again, the Dolphin's a good one because I know it's kind of, for the vast majority of terrains, it goes over it pretty well. And as long as it's not like a massive long journey, then the fuel will kind of hold up alright. And it's pretty good at not tipping as well. Brilliant. Elder Scrolls 6 is in development. Same with the next Dragon Age. I don't think I've played Dragon Age before, but yeah, Elder Scrolls 6 would definitely be an interesting one. I'd be, yeah, considering that when it comes out, definitely. Again, as long as I can go and raid everyone. And what was the last time? A Khajiit or something. It's like a tiger. Look like the king guy off Tekken or whatever it was. But he had the skills. Skills to pickpocket the shit out of everyone. Justin Lynch. Starfield, then Elder Scrolls 6. Then it'd probably the next decade Fallout 5. It's true. Wonder if that one will be as buggy. Brilliant. Diablo 4 comes out this summer. Pre-orders are available. That's another thing I've oh, in fact, have I played one of the early ones of them? I sort of kind of know the game you mean. I don't think I've ever like owned the game myself and played it properly, but I don't know, a mate of mine must have had it or something, because I kind of know I think I've seen a little bit of it, if I'm even thinking of the right game. Oh yeah, shit, I'm not even checked where we're going on this map. Well, there appears to be 3 locations. Seems simple enough. Change it to the daytime while I'm here. Stuck on it, I think it's these stupid planks. Goodness for us. Wolf, I was looking at how to become a Patreon, but can't find it. Any help? I believe is it like patreon.com/ItsMrLoneWolf. I believe that's it. I'm just trying to think, because it's, well, to be fair, fairly recently they have actually fixed, like, it works better than it used to on iPhone. They've kind of re-laid out all of this stuff. It used to be a complete twat to try and get on via my iPhone. Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of, dude. I appreciate it, by the way, for trying to get on there. Yeah, I think when it comes up, I'm sure it's like patreon.com/ItsMrLoneWolf. I believe that's like my Patreon name anyway, is It's Mr. Lone Wolf, so I don't know if like if you can search that way and type that name in. Again, it's one of those things, it's where like I could really do with a PC at some point, just to kind of have it all open properly on the proper versions of the websites and just kind of leave them on there, because doing everything through my phone is, even like editing some of the videos recently, it's an absolute piss take on the phone. I kind of got used to it in the end, it got a bit quicker, but Jesus Christ, it's like YouTube Studio but going via like Apple on the Safari website thing or whatever it is. Yeah, it was a right twat. Just like the screen doesn't move over properly, it's, I don't know. I can't really explain it very well. It's one of them, you'd have to just use it and be like, Jesus Christ. And again, Patreon used to be like that. It's got a bit better where they've relayed it out, so it makes a bit more sense, but it's still not 100%. Teespring as well, trying to do shirts, that pretty much, as far as I remember anyway, still doesn't work on iPhone. It's sketchy as hell on a laptop. K Nichols, Wolf, how are you doing? Love your SnowRunner streams. Happy for year 3 coming. Be able to see more streams. Yeah, I'm not doing too bad, cheers dude. How are you doing? And yeah, it's pretty good news with year 3. It's definitely, at least we know there's more content coming, and well, in theory they don't fix that many bugs, but in theory they're not just moving on to another game and completely sort of abandoning this game to the wild, so there's yeah, more hope that they can polish a few things and tweak a few things here and there. Like I say, as a game concept, I'm certainly not bored of it by any means. It's just one of them. As long as there like keeps being more maps and missions and contracts and vehicles to drive, then yeah, sort of one of them I could feel like I could kind of play indefinitely. And again, this is this truck is very nice to drive, I'll give it that. Cut across through here. Saved a 3-pointer, this bloody trailer. Squeeze it in. Shoot it, of course. Get out of the way, generator. Can you hit that train around the way? Yes. What trailer? Handbrake. Can't find it, grind it. It's funny how in this game, even though it for the most part is just auto, as soon as you mash L1, it still knows to do the grinding gear noise. If you can figure out for sure before some random person gets a Merry Christmas, I'd appreciate it. Love to help support you. No, I appreciate it, dude. I'm trying to think what else. I definitely know my Patreon name is ItsMrLoneWolf because I just did it the same as this channel. I don't actually know, like, what have you gone on? I assume to Patreon. Is there a way yet to search for names? If not, I don't know if it comes up as a link. I normally put it in the description as well on my videos, but again, I don't know if it'll actually come up as like a, you know, sort of a blue writing link thing that you can just click on. But yeah, no, I appreciate you trying to support me, dude. It definitely helps, especially these days with the price of everything going through the roof. Does help keep supporting the channel, keep the lights on. The beach. Yeah, I'll have a look after the live stream. Like I say, I don't know, like, which bit which bit's sort of catching you out, and literally, like, with me and computers, at best, it's like the blind leading the blind, because I am completely clueless when it comes to this sort of stuff. Pretty well, got beached a little bit there, but not that bad. That is a bit of a trollish section. And again, this vehicle, it does sort of fit in very well with, like, you could imagine this being a vanilla vehicle. This is kind of the level I'd sort of want and expect the P512 to behave like, really. You can see in situations like this, it's not just walking through it. It's got the diff to drop into, yeah. Sort of, it actually reacts to the map, but without actually, I don't know, being a complete troll, and yeah, on the other end of the scale, it's not just walking over everything. Like, it does appear to actually be affected by the various different terrains, but without just throwing in the towel and then being pretty useless. Kenneth, trust me, I'm not good at technology at all. Yes, you and me both, dude. I need to go back to, I don't know, the days when a calculator was like high alien tech. I think I'd be more suited with an abacus. Abacus and a pen and paper. In fact, there's one thing I was doing this week as well, speaking of pen and paper, was, yeah, because the videos that are copyrighted, so I had to go and find all the videos that were copyrighted and then go through them and find the bit where I played the music. So I've got a big fat list on a notepad, writing down like each video, then from this time to this time when I've got to try and edit that bit out. And yeah, it took a bloody long time. And like I say, YouTube Studio via the Apple was just horrifically bad. Oh yeah, I'm done. I was about to go off somewhere else. Again, I like this vehicle. Well, I might go and pick another mission then. Could send it back, check out these stickers that light up and stuff. Not that I really care, but why is there no missions unlocked? Assume then I must have to do more of these ones to let it get over to that. What have we got on this bottom one as well? Power transformer, what's that? Oh, that's not too bad. Visit an area in Harvest Corp and special cargo. I've done this mission before. I might have already done a video on this mission at some point. What vehicle and setup to take? alright, let's go and get rid of this trailer. Piggy says on. What add-on do you hope they add to the game in year 3? I want a front plough to push rocks and trees off the road. That's true, that'd definitely be pretty cool. I wouldn't say no to that. I doubt they will add it. There was it like the mini IX Wrecker ages ago? I'm sure that had some kind of snowplow on it. But it's one of them. I've tried using different things as a snowplow before, including like a snowplow. It's just because the way like this game's quite bumpy here and there. If you were clearing rocks from like this yard, it wouldn't be too bad. But it's difficult to get like a plough that sits low enough to where it'll move rocks out of the way, but then doesn't dig into the ground every time you go up and down bumps. But if they could figure that out, I'd like that. Definitely be pretty cool. Like in that sense, they kind of calmed down on it. Was it phase 2? They did shitloads of rocks everywhere. That was one of them phases. Yeah, Amandra and Lake Coved, where something like a plough would have came in pretty handy, really. Again, they always put these trailer stalls in the corner. And all the big trailers are a right pain in the arse to spawn. Son of a bitch. Yeah, I'm trying to think what other add-on. I mean, personally, a couple of things I'd like to see. It's not strictly an add-on, but I was going to say in the trailer store, a scout trailer that's got repairs on it, which I believe there is one in Fox's mod pack, and we did get it on main, but they don't. I'm pretty certain they don't let us have it in like all the other phases. What else would be pretty cool? Not enough space. I'm not sure if it's just because it's like sitting in the ground a little bit. It might just be the like angle this truck sits on. What other trucks have we got? Got anything nearby? It might not be this vehicle. But I don't know if the the back end's just sitting a little bit low. Have we got any vehicles nearby? May as well leave that VOR on there, because if I move it I'll only have to go back at some point just to turn that bloody generator on. I'll use that F750 soon. This thing was able to spawn that trailer, so we'll find out. There's definitely more how the articulation needs to be strength-wise on the normal vehicles. Let me go back and fix all the unfixable, currently unfixable bridges. Yeah, that's true. That'd be bloody good to do that. Because, was it on Amandra? There was like a massive bridge that it never let us fix, but it'd actually be a pretty good one to kind of work towards. And even in this map, funnily enough, well, this bridge, for example, is another one, but the next patch of water I'll be coming up to in a minute. That's obviously like a pretty big bridge on it as well that would be, yeah, just made sense. You could sort of work towards that. Plus it's nice when you actually, particularly the bigger bridges in the game, once you actually get to fix them, it does open up that as kind of a viable route, so would be pretty cool to see a bit more of that going on. Instead of just like, in this phase, there's a few little bridges, like a log bridge and a few things to do, but yeah, there's more of like an actual massive main span that sort of opens up a new route. It's a pretty cool idea when they do it. General Disarray, hello Mr. Lone Wolf from Michigan, USA. How's it going, dude? It's good to have you join us. Good old Michigan, you're on the first maps. So I hope they add more trailers in year 3, no more bloody variations of the 8 slot. That's true. It'd be cool, yeah, to see stuff like that, like, yeah, just an overhaul of the trailer packs would be cool. In general, like, a bit of an overhaul of the trucks would be nice. Just more vehicles. I say even the Western Star 49X I was using the other day, that can have like the crane sideboard and trailers, which is bloody handy to be able to have that. Not that many vehicles can have all three. It would sort of be nice if they, yeah, went over a few vehicles, just spruced up what they can actually have as options. Because there's some vehicles, like one I used recently as well was the Derry, the 3194 or whatever it is, and a few people were saying in the comments like they've not really used it, and when I did a review on it, like I wasn't exactly singing its praises too much, which is true. But then I was saying as well, since then they've tweaked a few things, like back when we first got it, that liftable axle wasn't like a thing in the game, so the axle just stayed down all the time and that'd catch on like the brows of hills and stuff. They also changed it to like diffs always on. And yeah, it's a better truck than it used to be, but its sort of biggest flaw for me now is like the add-ons on it. I don't think you can put a crane on the Derry and all sorts, which just for like setting vehicles up, there's you're pretty limited on that. Get through eventually. This thing has got a bit of a chunky ass. So maybe it was just that trailer, which strictly speaking I still wouldn't really say is the truck's fault, because the game, there is various vehicles that just, the angle they sit at, they do kind of spawn some of the trailers into the ground a bit. But yeah, I think just the angle that Prometheus truck is sitting on. That's not too bad. Got a bit of oomph to the horn. Yeah, I think it was just because the trailer was like so long and the back end of it was sort of spawning into the ground and just wasn't letting me have it. Well, unless we'll see now. If it says I can't attach it, which I doubt it will, but... Oh wait. Got a feeling this is not going to go particularly smoothly, but we'll give it a go. Oh shit, I've got to cross that bit as well, haven't I? So I've got to get 4 metal beams from there and only take them to there, so that's not too bad. He says, famous last words. And then yeah, I'll probably recover the truck and we'll switch a few things out, and then I've got to go and get a special cargo. Thinking about it, is that special cargo a 4 slot? In that case I could do with a crane over. I want to use that 3 slot sideboard. I probably should have just used it in the end for that vehicle spare parts mission, I suppose, because I did have 3 lots of spare parts. Sorry, I might have missed a comment or two there. Nightmare to drive over. Not sure which bit you mean, but it sounds like it's in the realm of this game. Piggy hit it just right in 36 suspension damage and 19 tyre damage while taking it at 10 mile an hour. It's definitely fun. What the hell was that? Oh, fucking road sign. Considering this is a 10 slot trailer though, a hell of a lot nicer to drive with the amount of wheels that it's got on it. The old low ranges. It's still beachable, but it looks better than the 8 slot. Justin got one, Rift got at least one, Club got at least 2, Amanda got some more, Main got some, Season 8 as a few. What was that, sorry? Beached. Single beach. Deploy the goddamn professional. He's getting close. Justin Lynch, currently in fixable bridges. Oh yeah, sorry dude, I get distracted, lose track of what conversation I'm having. Yeah, that is true. There is a shitload though, isn't there, across all the different maps. And considering they've got various maps and missions where you can fix bridges, like yeah, this one in the background, or what used to be a bridge. I don't know, it shouldn't be that hard to like implement them as a mission. We've kind of got all the background mechanics of it going, they just sort of need to just make it so once you complete the mission it just puts a road along there really. Well, that wasn't too bad. So fire out a winch once or twice, but considering this trailer, I thought it'd be worse than that. Well, still got to get around some corners yet. You can see though, like when I reverse and that dolly axle rotates, because it's triple wheels, when it's at the side I don't think it's only going to let me go that far, but yeah, the trailer can't lever side to side, but on that ramped flatbed with only one axle, once you reverse and tuck the axle sort of long ways under the trailer, that axle's just a lot narrower than the actual trailer, and then it sort of makes it want to flop over side to side. On anything in this game, if it's a dolly axle, you sort of want a minimum of 2 axles really. Yeah, it's this corner that might be a bit of a beast. We'll find out. Probably going to have to run over the barrier. Okay. I'm not going to be the one replacing it. Filled a bus stop full of people. Let's go this way. Boxes out. No. Oh, it does rotate further eventually. Just have to. Oh, there you go. Have to give it a bit of encouragement. It's not too happy about it. Right, I'm just gonna have to touch the box. That's what she said. Turn that stupid generator on. that because I changed from the bloody... Is it out of fuel? Or did I just kill it by switching too quick? It's got some fuel. I might have just killed the generator. By switching off. Son of a bitch, I fucking hate these generators. Wow. Yep, she's a goner. Plan B. Hopefully I can replace the generator. Otherwise, there is somewhere on this phase that I was able to get metal beams from. I can't remember where off the top of my head, but it'd be a lot easier if I could just craft them there. Let's see if we can replace the generator. Decided to troll us by giving us a task where we needed to deconstruct a bridge. Oh yeah, I remember that one. I thought the exact same thing. I kind of didn't want to do that mission until near the end. In fact, I believe it might have been Justin Lynch that gave me the heads up on like preferably leaving that mission until nearer the end. Justin Lynch, oh my god, seriously, I got a quest to dismantle one of my precious bridges. Yeah, what, oh, I can picture the map. I can't remember what phase it was. Was it that burning, was it phase 7? Yeah, I think it was, wasn't it? 'Cause it was like where you got the, you had to go like, eventually one of the missions was to do a loop of like the whole map as sort of a race thing. And I think if you did the deconstruct the bridge mission before you did that big loop, then obviously you didn't have that bridge to cut across. You had to kind of go around the edge in the water. Justin, that's the best point I've heard all week. Justin, yeah, it's a season 7 map, yeah. It feels like bloody ages ago. That's what threw me. I thought, oh, it must have just been off the top of my head. Was like, oh, it must have been back in phase 5 or whatever. And then I was like, hang on a minute. That was Factory Grounds and Antonovsky, something like that. And yeah, phase 6 was Maine and whatever that other map was. It was snowy. I sort of forgot about that bottom corner section of Burning Mill. I mean, again, overall, I didn't dislike Burning Mill. There just wasn't really enough to do on it, but overall, I didn't like hate the map. It was a little bit, to be fair. One thing I would say, if it had as much content as like this phase has got, there was only one proper route on the map, so it would have got a little bit repetitive after a while. It's like I've glitched the entire option to turn on the generators. Note to self, don't switch from the generator before it's finished its stupid animation. Well, I'll try and load up to a different map and load back. So let's load to this one. See if that fixes it. If not, God knows. It's a new one on me. It's the first time I've managed to break this option. Good old Black River. That's when the GMC 9500 actually was a highway vehicle. And the little CK. I should, well, I'd say I should get that out more. I'm never going to switch the low for it, let's be honest. But it is I do like that vehicle. Global map. What was that? Heartlands, wasn't it? Yeah, that's some GTAO type glitch. It's definitely a bit of an odd one, isn't it? I didn't think that was possible. I'm more surprised now as surely this isn't the first time I've just switched back to another vehicle before I've waited for the animation to finish. And like I say, it's not just not letting me turn that generator on or off, but yeah, when I just pulled up in that new one, it just won't even... It's like it's just blocked the entire option. I know it comes up on the list saying turn on generator, but even though I'm clicking the button, nothing happening. If not, I don't know. I'm not sure, to be honest. I might have to switch to a different mission, because I could go somewhere else to get the metal beams, like I said, but it's going to be a bit of a pain in the arse, to say the least. And there we go. Well, I suppose the good news is I assume that new generator I've bought has got, is it 1,500 litres of fuel? Oh, it must have had more than that. It must have had 2,000. That'll do. Well, crisis averted. Yeah, load up to another map and back. Seem to fix it. This is why I'm not a trucker in real life. Situations like that, I just get a bit stuck and be like, well, forgot to tell your boss, I quit. Frame rate going on there. It's definitely a much better trailer than the just the normal 8-slot version, and the fact that it's got 2 extra spaces. 2 extra slots. Who doesn't love 2 extra slots? We'll learn from past mistakes. I ain't cutting across that field and going through them goddamn trees this time. Although going this way gets very tippy along this bit of the road. But I'm going to have to risk it. I may live to regret it. I definitely remember trying to go through the side entrance on this power station we're driving up to, and got an 8-slot trailer stuck there, which was not fun. Go low range. Say, most of the time I don't like going this slow, but for whatever reason, I mean this specifically is probably a little bit slow for my liking, but even when this vehicle kind of gets stuck and you're going a bit slow, it doesn't feel too annoying. But again, I'll soon get bored of just going this speed. Let's get over to this grass verge. Just good and bad. 10 slot, but it's dolly axle instead of a hitch. Yeah, no, I agree really. Like, overall, compared to the 8 slot, I think it's sort of feels more manageable. Feels like it beaches a bit less. way, because it's to the left of that telegraph pole I'm about to drive past. It doesn't look bad, but like I said, I nearly it swallowed the entire front corner of a P16, so she goes pretty deep. That's what she said, of course. Keep mashing on like a madman, like, please give me more power. Try and get in the high gear. High gear for the win, although it's not gonna last too long with this bit coming up. I don't know. It throws in the towel now. It was better effort than I thought. It's pretty good, it doesn't kick you out of high gear immediately. It gets to the point now I'm just chewing into the ground, so it's kind of logical to switch out of it, but yeah, generally speaking, I like it when it doesn't just immediately come up saying like engine about to stall. Piggy, yeah, it kind of sucks. The tree branches are bendable and unbreakable, and 70% of all my tip overs. Yeah, I know what you mean, especially they've gone a little bit mad on this map with the trees that just kind of sit on the floor and are unbreakable. And that's another thing where I suppose like if you had a plough to move the trees out of the way, and those ones, it sort of wouldn't make a difference, you just keep getting caught on it. They're handy here and there when you can fling a winch to them and drag yourself out, but yeah, I'd say for the most part I get caught on them and tip more than they save me. I did a video yesterday. I didn't quite get a chance to, like, by the time I'd finished getting the footage for it, it was pretty late, and I didn't want to edit it because I'd either have to rush through it and the video would still be out a bit late. But I was doing the Western Star twin steer thing. A couple of rolls in it. I started messing around really. It took way longer to do the mission than I'd originally intended, so I kind of ran out of time. But I think at some point one of them down trees kind of came in handy. I can't remember if that was the thing that fucked me over though. It might have been. Get around this corner, it should be alright. Yeah, I tried to squeeze through that side entrance with a P16 and an 8-slot trailer. Was it? Yeah, I think it was a P16 last time, and yeah, did not go well. An 8-slot trailer does not go around that corner because of these stupid dog kennel beehive things going on. That's what got me. Oh no. I need a bit more of a ramming. You can just tell in general, this game really wasn't designed with like 8 and 10 slot trailers in mind. Oh no, I think it is only a 2-slot trailer. Like the piece of cargo I've got to go and get. I'm pretty sure it was only a 2 slots, so reverse this trailer out the way a little bit. Oh shit, no, I'm gonna need a crane. Is it really just not gonna let me have any crane option with the long sideboard? No. What was the other thing? Menu froze? No, we're all good. Stickers. Got the alphabet. Oh. We've got non-capitals. Oh. Where's the glowing stickers then? Is that like just to put a letter on there? God knows. Put a new one there. Yeah, not a lot going on with that one. So let's get a bobble radar thing as well. Not that I really need it. Well, it's probably a bit of a waste of time travelling back there in the end. I would like to put that 3-slot sideboard on, but yeah, I know where I'm going. I'm going to discover a piece of cargo, and then I've got to obviously load it on my truck and take it back, so without the crane I'm going to be kind of screwed. Drive a loaf back to there. It's time to get a bit of loaf time. The season starts, so get year 3, whatever you... season starts, get so a year 3, whatever you come to here. No word yet on when it's coming. Yeah, I've not heard. I've heard there's... Is it like the names have been released or something, but... Yeah, I've not heard of anything else on when we're supposed to be getting it. Framerate tried to trip me alive. Not having it. Look at him go. Absolute unit. Goddamn professional. Yeah, and that name. You beast. See, some just dips in this road that go a lot deeper than you'd think. In fact, I am here. It's along here somewhere. Probably that bit somewhere. I'm assuming more weight from a P16, yeah. Managed to bury the entire corner of a P16, so... And then it tipped me. Abandon the whole mission and fly around in this thing. Never a bad time with a loaf. Justin Lynch, creative sticker names, that's true. Looks tiny on the picture. Is it just me? It's about the same size. In fact, it's bigger and longer than that Zix on the picture. It's bloody tiny. Christ be telling me, I swear it doesn't always look like that. It gets bigger. It's a grower, not a shower. Can you actually even see? Well, you can see the letter. You get no glowing stickers this time, though. I just added the year 3 pass to my wishlist on Xbox, but it had no info on first release date. Yeah, that's I'll have to go and check it out in the PlayStation Store, which I doubt that's going to have a release date either. I mean, as far as like the years go, it was it March or May or something when the game originally come out, so hopefully they're not going to wait until like that time of year again. Let me just read from here. Probably can. Some bit. That's one thing I wish they would fix for year 3. The horrifically terrible rotation mechanics when you're lifting cargo or goddamn horses or any other vehicles. That was actually quick because the loaf got his little jiggle on. Started rotating quicker, but get rid of daylight and we're away. Brown. Okay, thanks everyone. Yeah, is that the release date? Yeah, I'd be interested in that. I'm surprised they've not announced it. I suppose the fact that they haven't, I can't imagine it, you know, coming out kind of at the start of next month or anything like that. I think it's probably still going to be a little while away yet if they haven't even said when it's getting released. That said, to be fair, even like within Season 2 and all the rest of it, each phase they don't necessarily announce the exact day it's coming out until pretty close to when it is, so there's hope. But yeah, I've kind of got a feeling it's going to be absolute bare minimum kind of the end of January, but wouldn't surprise me if it's more sort of February time, hopefully not as long away as March or something. At some point though, I don't need to find like another game, but every now and then I keep, like, the mood takes me to play some other kind of game, whether it's, I don't know, I'm not sure what game to get. I've still got that Alien Isolation game, which I would kind of like to play. The shit scared out of me by aliens. But yeah, I can always fill in the gaps. That's what she said. Just I wish the log crane rotated more like the normal crane. I hate how fast the log crane rotates. It's twitchy and very hard to line up. That's true, they could kind of do with splitting the difference, sort of, yeah, make the log crane a little bit slower and make just the rotation of cargo when you got it on the crane a bit faster. I do know what you mean with the log cranes. I've not used them for bloody ages, to be honest. Just about everywhere I've been I can sort of auto load the logs into the back, but yeah, I do remember it being a little bit on the fast twitchy side of things. No, it's got quite a bit of fuel, I'm not really even paying attention to it, but 760, and it's not even burning like a lot of fuel either, so that'll get you through a lot of maps. Just notice as well, it's got some pretty tall exhaust on it. If you do roll it, they might end up kind of digging into the ground and being a bit of a dick to try and roll back. Maybe not though. I'm not gonna, hopefully not anyway, touch wood, find out the hard way. Let's see if this swamp's any better to go through. For some reason this is like a definite section. We're actually moving, but I've been through in a few vehicles. I think it's as we get sort of about another truck length ahead where it gets even worse. Truck are you driving? What is it called? Prometheus, is it? Yeah, I think it's a pretty new mod, so if you sort of list them, it actually got across there alright. If you list them like in order of the date the mods are added, then yeah, it's a pretty recent one. Let's say, yeah, called Prometheus. So it's another casually floating loaf. Go wide. God damn professional. Reduce tie away, so he knows what he's doing. Yeah, if you look like, compared to that trailer there in the picture, that's got the saddle, I suppose really, because you can see it's like got basically a step deck trailer as well. If they kept the trailer level, that'd inadvertently kind of raise the middle of the trailer. So I suppose the fact that, yeah, it's like a step down configuration, that's what makes it like catch the legs of the trailer so easily. So that 10 slot I was towing, that's got no step deck going on, so it all just sits more level. That's probably what's helping make a difference, as well as like the triple dolly axle thing going on. Why was that loaf floating? Second one I've seen since I started watching. It's because I would have been towing it in the sideboard of a truck, and then I've recovered the truck back. And then, yeah, it just like, say I won't do it, but if I recovered this Prometheus truck now, that yellow loaf would just kind of stay there, if you know what I mean, until, if you go near enough to it, it'll sort of unlock the physics. Yeah, and it will drop back to the ground, but yeah, that is why. I must admit, there has been quite a few floating loaves tonight. There's my loaf Air Force. Got jealous of the B, what's that new bomber they've brought out? The B-21 or something? To save that truck. Oh yeah, well, I kind of know where I'm going. But in a sec, I will draw a line just so it makes sense. Have I done this mission on this one yet? Nope. If I remember correctly, oh yeah, there it is. Cargo is there. Yeah, and this is another bridge, which we don't get to fix when you deliver those logs at that little yellow box back there. I think it's along this bit here, like the water sections. It just builds like a log path going over them, which, to be fair, is, I mean, it's not the end of the world. Particularly like the truck with this sort of size tyres is going over it pretty easily. It'll come in handy in the long run if there's certain missions, especially if we've got to go and drive one of them 8-slot trailers across this. Probably would be handy to have the log bridge built first. But yeah, it'd be even cooler if we could actually just repair the whole entire bridge. Although saying that, when the options to fix bridges do come up, like for example, it's just, oh yeah, there it is. I don't really get round to them very quickly. I think that, what map was it as well? Not the main, it was on phase 6. Not Lowlands, it was the second map. There's a bridge on there that... Did I ever build that or not? Kind of in the top right of the map. Maybe I did actually. I think I might have done on one of the playthroughs. But again, I probably left it till like one of the last missions. But it's nice to have the option. I like cutting across the river when I can help it, just for, I don't know, kind of half the point of the game. Testing out the off-road capabilities of the trucks, but yeah, having the bridges is a nice option. It's just such an easy mission concept that they've only got to add, like, you know, we've got to go and deliver metal beams and a load of stuff to the bridge location, so it's not even like a difficult mission to implement. I'm trying to sneak him away there, but hopefully it was just a little bush poking him. Oh yeah, this is one of those missions where it says like might be worth bringing a metal detector, which it isn't. You can if you want, but as you've seen, I could already see the cargo on the map. And when I drive over there, it's pretty easy to spot it as well. What's the tyre size on it? I believe it's 53-inch tyres. Just heard my cat. What's up, Nutter? He's back. They should have added more buildable bridges for this phase. Yeah, I fully agree. I'd say it's one of them. They've mapped it into the game. Like, the bridges are there, so they've done a lot of the legwork and like the planning of the maps, like where the road's going and everything. But they've kind of stuck with the idea of just sort of having little ways to cut around the bridge, which, like I said, back in the day, I always did cut around the bridges instead of building them. But now I have to go around them. Now it would be nice to have the bridge option. It's one of them. Never satisfied on this game. Always something I could tweak. But speaking of bridges and trucks, I was watching a video earlier on YouTube. It was different trucks crashing off the road and flying off bridges. And, yeah, some of them look pretty horrific. Yeah, shit. Got them horse. Yeah, some of these trucks like flying off bridges is pretty crazy. Rest in peace to some of the drivers, because I don't think all of them made it. It's pretty bad as well when you watch some of them, like say there's just a truck driving along and it'll be like a car overtaking them and they lose control and smash into the side of the truck. And then the truck driver would sort of swerve off and go flying off the bridge. And yeah, it's pretty crazy how quick it can all go to shit. Be enough to put you off using bridges, watching some of that stuff. Let's try more diffs. I'm gonna make it. If not, I'll have to hold the winch, get a little loaf boost. So, here's what he's doing. Oh shit. Me that doesn't. This thing feels pretty stable as well. I've not really had much of a risk of tipping all night either. It feels pretty well planted. I say overall it's a nice mod. certainly recommend it. It suits the game pretty well. Sort of suits the game, like power-wise and all the rest of it, but without being like a complete trollish beast. Just get a little bit slow in some of these swamps, but not crazy. Oh my god, I've seen a loaf, like that maniac giving me a little loaf boost. I didn't even ask for it though. He just knows what he's doing. Taking shit from them swamps. It was funny as well, because when I was having to like edit some of the videos on that YouTube studio, just as I was going through some of the different videos, just finding sections like when the loaf randomly grabbed onto the crane and was just hanging onto the crane for dear life, like attached himself to it, so I didn't even have to use my sideboard space or anything. That was even back before we were allowed to pack vehicles. See, like now, I might actually be stuck on this tree, but the loaf is a mobile winch point. I should be able to pull that, if not, go back a bit more with a mobile winch point. Fucking game. Just prioritise the goddamn horse. Whatever I'm caught on, I'm kind of glitched into the map because, or caught on like, it's probably those log sections that I'm not even moving on a little bit. Plan B. The drive forward. Not waiting me randomly forward then. Let's try it actually. Truck. Just wedged in there pretty good. Yeah, whenever I just bumped on that. Over there with steering. There it is, I'm glitched pretty good because it really isn't moving it at all. We'll find a way. Bit now. Some kind of progress. That could be now. Turn and circle the housefly. Gotta love that quick, winch. It does have a bit of a priority issue, I'll give it that. The thing in front that I'm stuck on is an immovable tree. That's not too bad, but there's something on beach that I'm in the middle. I think a leash on that should be good to go. As we were speaking about earlier, though, this is a good example of these immovable trees. I'm pinned pretty perfectly. Hopefully it's not like the Hummer situation where I actually just got glitched into the map. Yeah, you can even see like the waves going on stuck. I assume it is that those like strips of logs where the log bridge would go, so I suppose this kind of demonstrates, probably is worth building them log bridges just to not to get completely wedged. Daylight. Hey Wolf, hope you're well. Yeah, I'm not too bad, cheers. I apologise, I missed whose name that was, sorry, I've been a bit distracted with this bloody mess going on. Bleak, a new nickname for the twins there is Boaty McBoatface because she drives sways like a fat cruise ship. That is true. I ended up learning that the hard way when I was in the mission yesterday as well. I think now I'm glitched on this fucking tree at the front. I think we got the back free a little bit. Boost. Never harmed anyone. Just can't stay on my front wheels at the minute. I need to get over to the left a bit more. All over the court. Yeah. Is a good idea to build them log bridges then. Which is this mission, is it? 2 medium logs? Start tracking it. I'm pretty certain it's yeah, I'm sure it is 2 lots of medium logs. No, it'd be a boulder that will soon dredge up that was the reason for everything. Whatever it was, I was hooked on it pretty good. The trailer just reset to getting in the way every time, or I don't know. I feel like I've rammed that trailer out the way about 10 times, and every time I get back there, it's across the road again. Jury hinge, a co-cas libalea. I have no idea. I apologise. There's a language I cannot read. Tariq M, no idea why they scatter impossible to cross trees like that across the game. Yeah, I don't get it. Especially like across the actual roads where you got to drive. I could kind of see if they were just scattering them off the road, even though it'd still be a bit of a pain in the arse, but yeah, like in that situation, I was pinned at the front, to like the root part of that tree, which is just immovable, like never goes anywhere, and then whatever it was, there was something in the middle of the truck that was kind of hooked. I think it was those little like log channel things going across. But yeah, between both of them, I was like wedged in pretty good there. Like you can usually tell when you do the winch and your truck doesn't even like jiggle at all or anything. Then yeah, you're hooked on the actual map then. Which, like I said, is pretty much like the Hummers I've got stuck on White Valley and so on. No amount of pulling them's gonna get you out from that situation, really. Even when I went flat out with a twin steer off the White Valley cliffs and winched to one of the Hummers, and it absolutely stopped the twin steer dead mid-air. Just stay as a ghost. Just floating life. What was it? I wanted to try out something with this ghost setup going on. Can't remember. There was something I had it down there a while ago. Oh well, goes the ghost. Still got him. Nope, it got me. I might have been if I could drive through trees and stuff, which I've got a feeling I won't be able to. Some sneaky tree stumps. Yeah, I suppose because this vehicle's got quite a long wheelbase, particularly those fuel tanks at the side didn't sit majorly low. At least it's got pretty decently sized tyres, but yeah, once you're spanning like the brow of a hill or whatever, it's been catching a little bit, but again, overall a very nice mod. As long as it doesn't take oh yeah, shit, this did take up a lot of memory. So I probably won't have it on every week. It's more the RAM memory this takes up. I think it was almost half of like all the memory. That something like the Basilisk truck, that thing takes up about 3/4 of the RAM memory. Which yeah, it looked pretty cool as a truck. I might get it on next week if I can fit it on. Sod it. I'm going this way. Cross over there. Something like that. See how well this thing does across a bit of deep water wading. Where's the snorkel? I think, yeah, the snorkels only go up to the bonnet, so this might be a little bit tricky. Just sending the life to help me out on this one. Curiosity, can you lift those fallen trees with a tree grabber and move them out of the way? I don't believe so, no. They can... You can, like, tip the tree up at one end, but it'll, the, like, root bowl side of it kind of just is locked in space-time, like, in the map. Tip it up. If I was more wedged. Well, anyway, that yeah, the tree I just grabbed onto, like the side nearest me will just stay completely locked in place. The best you can do is, like, if you pull hard enough on the winch, it'll tip the tree up to where it's almost like it's standing upright again. But yeah, no amount of like anything will sort of move them out of the way, so they do quickly become a pain in the arse. They're quite handy in terms of, like, if you've got a big truck with big heavy cargo and all the rest of it. They are like an immovable winch point that you can attach to, and as long as your winch will build up enough strength, it'll you can use them to kind of wrench yourself out of some pretty rough situations. But yeah, in this game they have gone on, in this phase they've gone a little bit over the top with them, and like I say, they just keep laying them across like roads and stuff, which the fact that they are immovable just sort of makes it, just feels like your truck gets beaten all the time by the trees, which you sort of don't really want. At least with these sort of trees, you do have the option of running them over if you feel like getting a bit of revenge. But normally, if you run over the, particularly if this has got big enough tyres, it will go over that bit. But yeah, it's the where the roots are. That's what's like the side that really does fuck you over. Right. So a bit of drowning could occur here. She's stalled. Change the truck, man. I've got options. I could either zombie winch it. Let's just see if zombie winching works for the hell of it. So yeah, zombie winching, but yeah, probably just push it as well. Hammer loaf. Just an absolute unit, isn't he? Let little things like gigantic rivers stop him from having a good time. I do like the engine sound of that truck. Bacon saved once again. Justin, I've seen a few videos pop up lately. Seen as Kevin Conroy, the voice of animated Batman, has died. That's pretty crazy, isn't it? Rest in peace to her. Or Kevin, him, sorry. Oh, fuck. Go off my head. A waypoint. I hate it when I do that. I know you can theoretically click on each waypoint and delete it, but half the time it never works. It just lays another waypoint right next to it. I think like the first rear axle on this truck catches a little bit. It's not the end of the world, but I think that's what might have caught when I was crossing that river. It got caught on that dead tree I ran over a minute ago, and then it just randomly got caught on that rock and sort of deleted itself a little bit. Yeah, that was a month or two ago. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. There's quite a few biggies that died this year. It's on November the 10th. It's pretty crazy that was, yeah, over a month ago. It feels like it was only last week it was November the 10th. So it's all crept around on me pretty quick this year. Even, again, the entire year, really, considering we're almost at the end of December now. 8,600. I suppose it's not too bad. Managed to get the metal beams from there to there. Anyway. There's another one in the bag. I won't mind trying out this AGL F750. Gonna have to go for the fat engine. Be rude not to. Unbreakable gearbox. Just got some unbreakable suspension. Treat myself. That lines up. You were saying people's uploads was a month ago. What tyres we're going for? Well, they're obviously custom versions because all the ratings are excellent. 46s. The tyres look quite small on this, don't they? Sod it. I'm going for the chained. That's one nice thing, when AGL adds these mods, they kind of already come partially built, so if you just want to quickly grab the mod and get out of there, you've already got like various things added onto it. I suppose I normally like it with that kind of setup. What sort of missions have we got that might be a good excuse to take this thing out? Now all those missions are locked as well. Like, it's not unlocking any new ones yet. Must be more stuff on here I've got to do. I'm sure I had loads of missions that were like just go and explore some shit. Definitely don't want to be doing like hot potatoes really, if I can help it. So I'll look quickly what missions we've got on some other maps. Not many. Log Bridge, oh yeah, that one. I don't know, like, maybe I've just not uncovered all the missions on this playthrough, but I'm sure there was more that were just saying like, go here, explore. And there's definitely quite a few really looking around that I've not selected yet. Driving it. Pretty nippy, although again I did put the biggest engine in. Doing a nice little drift on there. So what of the most upgrades do you find the most frustrating to acquire? not got an upgrade for a good while. I suppose, I don't know off the top of my head if it is definitely the one, but was it the all-wheel drive for the twin steer? I think you had to go to a Mandra for that one. I'm trying to think of what else. Overall, I wasn't too keen on having to find quite a lot of the upgrades. I remember there was one on Pedro Bay, so obviously you have to set off from like Northport really and go through Mountain River and then over to Pedro Bay, so I suppose that one took quite a while. I see, yeah, don't forget to build that bridge. Was that, yeah, the log bridge. I could drift this truck. Well, not saying I'm good at it, but I mean, I could spend a lot of time just drifting this truck. Power just works out nicely where it's got a little bit of drift going to it. The steering's still in just enough so you can kind of catch it. Just special. Oh shit, it does. Get more drifting. Yeah, that's right, game. Thought you were gonna tip me. But it's a double win. We just rip the tree out of the ground while we're at it. Hercules, a flasher bar. Truck literally has a cop horn. A flasher bar would fit it so perfectly. There is a... what truck? There is a truck that's got like a police light on top. What the hell was it? It might be the Lodestar or something. Which I think that might even have one on normally, but there was... it's been a while, there was a mod of something that had like an actual police light on the top. J-War, you scouting or doing a mission? I don't really know, to be honest. I just kind of wanted to have a little bit of a drive in this, but I was kind of planning on doing some kind of mission. I think I was sort of heading towards the Institute map. But yeah, I've got to be honest, I don't specifically know what mission I'm going to do yet. Although maybe this vehicle's pretty quick, I probably could do like a contest maybe. I don't do many of them, but... Anti-terrorist barricades, what's that one? Helmy, good morning Wolf. Good morning everyone. How's it going, dude? Good to have you joining us. Considering how much this thing does drift, it stays pretty nicely planted. Just a Lynch. Lodestar, F750, and I think one of the Jeeps has a flasher bar. And for some reason, the Hercules doesn't. What's the Hercules again? I've definitely heard the name of it, I just can't. I've gone blank. Was that newer one, the Rezvani truck? I can't remember. Going on. So do you know what? Let's go and check that swamp racer out, because I think it is going to make me go into the swamp round here. I've been curious to see how brutal it's going to be as far as that goes. As well, even though it does look pretty quick on the game, it's probably more it's closer to the speed I would be going in this sort of vehicle. Certainly wouldn't be creeping along at 10 miles an hour in the middle of nowhere like this. Excuse me. Attempts left 0. What? 2 minutes 40, is that? I've already done this. What does it mean, attempts left 0? Why would it even say that? I'm doing it again now. Even if I didn't want to do it. As soon as the game implies that I'm not allowed to, suddenly my interest in doing that mission shoots up. Probably one of the easiest ways to make boring missions on this game enjoyable. Just have a message pop up saying you're not allowed to do it. Might have to employ that technique for phase 2 Yukon when I go back there. Yeah, it's not like in these swamps too much. To be fair, not a lot of stuff is. Still handling it better than my Dan truck did when I came this way. Oh, I don't know, find the little ridges. It was pretty respectable through there. That weird, like a light blue thing I just ran over. Those. I'll probably get a quicker time than 2:40 at this rate. Just an inch, new 6x6 scout in season 8 with a cop horn. Yeah, that is it, yeah, then, the Resvani thing. Mr. Kitten, you, my good sir, have amazing vids. I appreciate it, dude, I'm glad you're enjoying them. Some of them are, yeah, some good fun to make. I'd say it's a shame with the whole copyright situation. Well, I suppose that is another bridge you got to build, but again, it's just another tiny little log bridge. 226. Not bad. I could definitely go faster than that. Like little things like getting caught on that bridge at the end. So let's go and check that one out on. Let's fly along the road. As far as like a scouting bit goes, I mean this thing does cover a distance pretty quickly, and the steering's always been really nice on this vehicle. It's probably one of my favourite steerings in the game. But yeah, if you were like planning on nipping out and scouting, this thing's definitely eating up the miles pretty quickly, without being completely insane and trying to roll itself over every 2 seconds. Personally, I do like the drifted. Hell me, I hate it when the text stage completed blocks the view for long seconds. Yeah, I agree, there's a few things. Oh look, there's another floating loaf. Got them all over the place. Yeah, that does it. Has got me a few times before. Random, but it reminds me of when I used to play on a Call of Duty as well, when like I was running around knifing people, and it'd keep popping up right in the middle of the screen saying like Kingslayer medal, whatever medal you got, but it's like, game, do you fucking mind? I'm trying to work out who to stab. I need to see their name to work out if they're on my team or not. But every time I stab someone, it comes up like, yeah, with different medals that just completely block the view. And on like the little maps like Shipment, I just run around like a lunatic stabbing everyone. Get my own teammates that are like, fuck off, stop trying to stab me. But like, my bad. Didn't know who you were to assume you're an enemy. But yeah, you think they could just make it appear like near at the top of the screen. I believe it's this way. So headlights on it as well. I'll change it to daytime when I get there. Just a Winch. I feel like the only purpose to fix that bridge is for that contest. It's true, it probably is. Yeah, there ain't much else going on around there. Just 30 seconds. Just give it a run up. Not a goddamn professional waiting. See, I've got them strategically scattered all over the place. Tell me, gets it. Give you a medal, then screw your ability. Yeah, exactly. Especially when I was trying to get like big fat kill streaks, like quad feed or more. Especially on Shipment, you go around stabbing people every 2 seconds. But need a bit of Jeff's special high gear going on. Is really on the whole context. Whoever programmed it, like, it was a Friday afternoon before you're off on holiday. I'm not complaining, but 26 seconds. Let's see if we can do a bit quicker. Definitely feels like a Friday special, like. Horse that actually isn't mine. You can tell because it's laying on its side. My loads are far too professional. See, all my loads are either just chilling or floating. Like the worst kind of trees on this whole game. At least remember back in the day when they used to pop out the ground, but as soon as they popped out the ground they would like cease being a winch point. These ones are like the worst of both worlds, where they pop out of the ground immediately and thus offer absolutely no use to anyone, but they still stay as a winch point, so you can't just quickly like fire winches out. Again, I think they did that on purpose, because even if you had those stupid trees that pop out of the ground, you could just keep quickly firing winches out and like ripping them all out of the ground and just move on to the next one, sort of automatically within doing the auto winch. Whereas yeah, they've made it now so it just drags a crappy dead little bush thing along the floor, and then it keeps winching back to the same bloody thing. Well, I suppose I may as well go and pick another mission to do, and then I'll probably call it a day. Another goddamn horse chilling. Oh, pair of horses. Well, I'm going to recover anyway. Yeah, so it takes you back to the Heartlands map, just for mostly useless information, but if you're on the Institute, obviously it could theoretically recover you to either Heartlands or Crossroads, but it's chose Heartlands. I wonder when I get the garage built on Harvest Corp, if it will make that the option afterwards. You gotta love the convenient tip over with no proper winch point. It always happens. Thankfully, yeah, especially with AGL mods, have got a pretty massive winch on it, and it's an autonomous winch as well, so we got out of there. I don't know why this headset feels like it's squeezing my head. Well, it used to, but it used to kick in after about 4 or 5 hours. Now it gets me after, yeah, about 2 hours in. Don't know, my head must be getting fatter or something. Well, I doubt the headset shrunk. Mr. Kitten, how many hours do you have in the game? I honestly don't know. I've thought about it before. It's definitely in the, I don't know, like 2,000–3,000 hours I would have thought. And then on top of that though, there's probably another 3,000 or 4,000 hours of editing. But yeah, it's one of them. I wish they had some kind of counter in the game. I believe people have got a way of counting it on their PC on Steam or something. Or was it Steam or on the PC anyway? But yeah, sadly on the PlayStation we have no counter. I'd be interested to know. Don't like it when it doesn't tell me where the supplies are that I need. Right, so metal rolls I can definitely get from there. So that's one possible mission. Scrap Stalker. What's this one? Building cabins. So the first part of this mission, you just got to visit the technical station for no apparent reason. Which, oh, it's not that one. Or is it? Well, I can get that one done. So I've got a goddamn horse waiting there. You can start to see now how many horses there's another one. Got them all over the map. Makes life a lot easier. But that does mean you have to now watch the bloody loading screen go back to that map. Well, I've only got the Harvest Court, because yeah, there's definitely none unlocked on them. Well, there's missing workers. Crossroads. You know what, I could go and do that one, because yeah, I've just been on the Institute, I've gone to Harvest Court, I've been on the Heartlands. So that one will pop out. Yeah, it's actually not that far away either. truck do I take? Yeah, because it's rescuing Bruce, isn't it? Let's give this truck another go. In fact, now as well. Not that I really need to, but as you asked, we'll get the 3 slot on there, because I shouldn't really need a crane for this one. I assume that's not going to let us have trailers on the back either with that. She is a long one, she said, of course. Leave home without him. You want some cross-play co-op pals to play with. Eventually, if I ever get round to what's it called, the the co-op, then yeah, I'll let all you guys know and we'll get on there. It's just something I've never even got round to yet. I went on there once ages and ages ago, like back right near the start of the game, just to go and borrow someone's what they call the special objective trailer on Black River. It was like that big fuel trailer, which funnily enough they have obviously that in the game. They've never really brought that back since. But yeah, it was to do the trophy where you had to like lift a trailer in the air. For whatever reason at the time anyway, I don't know if it's changed now, but that was the only trailer that was kind of liftable by a truck. Well, apparently there was a workaround that if you just lifted one of the other special objective trailers up on one end, as long as you lifted one side of the trailer high enough, it'd count. But yeah, at the time I didn't know that, so I went on to someone's co-op game and just like ignored what they were up to. And yeah, found their trailer, lifted it in the air, got the trophy, and then went back to the main menu, and that was literally the one and only time I've ever been on the co-op mode. Mr. Foster, lol, important upgrades is hard to reach. Many trucks suffer from that. Yeah, they usually make it a bit of a beast to go and try and get the upgrades. That's the biggest thing. Which I believe actually some people are saying there's a way around it when starting a new game plus. But yeah, that's one of the things I was not looking forward to, is having to go and get all the upgrades again. Like I said, this mod playthrough I'm on now, I've had this playthrough for well over a year, probably more like 2 odd years, and there's still a shitload of upgrades yet on this I've not even got yet. It's Fox's K700. It's a pretty cool idea, right? It can have it's got like a saddle thing on the back, so you can, yeah, have like semi-trailers and all that sort of stuff. I randomly find your channel, Wolf. You're doing an amazing job. I appreciate it, dude. I'm glad you're enjoying the videos. Yeah, still having fun with the goddamn horse, getting the footage for them. Could fit 2 loaves in there. I don't know, it looks like it might be a bit of a tight squeeze. Might have to try it at some point though. Help me, I inserted myself in some other people's maps randomly to play with them. Mostly got kicked out. Oh, can you actually kick people out? I remember back when I went on it, like, it was bringing up a little sort of headset symbol as if the 2 people whose the map I was on were talking. but I couldn't hear either of them. And then yeah, I mean, as far as they're concerned, I must have just randomly appeared, flew across Black River. It was quite lucky as well, because as I was choosing, obviously when you join someone's game, it loads up onto whatever map they're on. But I got lucky that, yeah, the people I got put with, they were on Black River. So yeah, I could see their microphones going. I don't know if they were saying, you know, trying to talk to me and say, what the fuck are you doing on our map? But yeah, quickly flew over to like the petrol station, grabbed their trailer, got that done, and I was out of there. Random games are never a good idea. You may not like truck setups. People can be weird these days. Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of strange people out there. Yeah, just be a bit random to appear on someone's map. I assume though, like, if I could just go on to co-op and load on someone's map, do they get a choice in that? I know they don't specifically get a choice in me loading onto their map, like, there and then, but have they already done something to, I don't know, like, have the option available that I could randomly appear on their map? Before, there's a rammed flatbed. Looks like, yeah, the off-road version of Fox's trailer. Oh yeah, was this one did that stupid bloody 8 slot? It kept tipping every 2 seconds with a fan blade on. So yeah, you can see there, right near the back of the truck, it does just get caught easier than any other part of the truck. Oh, and that was a what do you call it? Tree stump on Winch too as well, so that's probably where I got caught on something when I was going across that water section. Because I'm winched to a tree stump, so that ain't moving anywhere. There's obviously like a little bit of a hitbox thing going on there. It's a bit more severe than it looks. Wow, just recalled the days of the BF3 rental servers. I've never been on any. I've heard of all that sort of stuff, but yeah, never really had a PC. Not since like Windows 2000. Well, that was the upgrade. Windows 98 before that. They were the days. Even then I didn't know what I was doing. God knows what hope there'd be now. Microsoft Paint. Finally extended my skills. And even then, use the term loosely. Well, it appears I stuck my shitty tree stump. So one day, someone will add a mod and just rip them all out of the ground. This is what I don't like about the tree stumps. I'm now just glitched on it, basically. Like, hooked to the point no amount of winch strength is going to help. And obviously this winch is very strong because it's ripping trees out of the ground. Tip over to the side of it, there we go. Yeah. took the large fuel tank. Yeah, it was good. Good little stealth mission. Well, again, I don't know how stealth. They may well have been screaming at me the whole time. But it was worth it. We bagged that trophy. I still, every time I go to load this game up, I've got most of the trophies. I just need to do a couple, like, is that delivered 10 lots of cargo with, is it a P12 or something? On Tamir, is there another one? Deliver 10 lots of cargo with that little Zix. I think that's about all I've got to do. Might be easier to fix Bruce. One hit and he's done. Yeah, because I remember, because you've got to fix all 10 tyres on Bruce. And that was the biggest drain, really, because most things don't come with that many tyres. Let me have them OCD angles. PS5 players can see time played, but I just checked on PS4 and can't find nothing. Yeah, it's a shame really, it'd be nice to know. I'm pretty safe to assume I'm definitely well over 1,000 hours, but beyond that, I've got a feeling it is more like 2,000–3,000. I think I've got to have a good 500 odd videos, just SnowRunner alone, probably more than that. I think I've got 770 odd videos in total, but some of them are Call of Duty videos, but there's definitely mostly SnowRunner. And yeah, particularly back in the day, probably like a good, I don't know, like 6 to 10 hours of just getting the footage and then the editing as well. So it would have been racking up the hours pretty quickly. This Foster, you can use crane as a stump. I use that with the Azov 7. Like a ditch, yeah, probably is. Or actual road. I'm borrowing the train tracks at the minute. So in theory, probably is best to just follow the train tracks along. I won't. Try and go the normal way. Ish. Bit of freestyle off-roading going on. It bit me. No, this thing doesn't even have a autonomous winch. horse does. What does he actually winch to? Oh, no, it's the actual truck. Let's see if we can do it the cheeky way. Just get it rotated in one go. Lowe's one of the only ones as well that repeatedly, when I'm in that situation, I bring up the winch, and it actually aims the winch at roughly 12 o'clock. Tree trying to make me regret. Well, I haven't got that horse on me. Problem solved. Tell me, tree revenge exactly. Although he gets the ultimate revenge though. Where's the spare wheel gone? I know I used some of the repairs, but I used all of them. I didn't realise it stole his wheel. All daylight going. Just a full out 4 is on for $8 from the Canadian on PSN's end of year deals. Yeah, that's not bad. It's more like it should be. I was even, I know it's not games, films, but I was looking through Amazon the other day. Tempted to buy Die Hard. Well, it's about £3.50 to rent. I think it's £5 to buy. So it kind of make more sense to buy it. But yeah, for most films, to be fair, Die Hard's a pretty bloody good film, but they do charge too much money on Amazon for some of the old classic films. I'd buy a lot more as well if they were cheaper. Well, if I had the money for them. Yeah, I've got like The Exorcist, RoboCop, Ghostbusters and How High. The only films I bought on there. And again, The Exorcist film always scared the shit out of me. I mean, I watched it a couple of years back on Halloween. And ever since then, it's just cured me of like horror films now. Sort of to the point where, I don't know, kind of defeated the point of horror films now. Everything I've watched since, it doesn't really bother me anymore. And yeah, as it's Christmas, Home Alone as well. Couldn't get that on there. Trying to make me sign up to Disney or something. Sod that. Sod off. It's funny as well, I've seen that film some of you guys have mentioned in the week. God, I just forgot the name again now. It's a Christmas film with a little kid, but not Home Alone. And yeah, even though it's been a film that's been out for, I think, like my entire life, if not even longer, I've seen the kid before. I recognise him out of something, or I might have just seen like, I don't know, like an advert to that film. But yeah, I've never watched that film. But when you guys mentioned it, I don't know, I noticed it. I found it on Amazon sometime when I was looking through Christmas films. And yeah, I still have no plans to watch it, but it's just funny, like, considering how long the film's been out, and it's a Christmas film and all the rest of it. Yeah, never seen it. I always resort to the old Home Alone at Christmas. One that can scare you, watch the 1989 movie Leviathan. I didn't hear about that recently as well. Cheers, I'll have to, I'll check that out. The only thing I don't like these days, which is gonna scare me, but it's not really scary, it's like jump scares. Just because they, like, yeah, they just inherently are gonna make you jump, but I don't want it blunting my shit scared reflexes. I don't want to get too used to something jumping out on me. I'm just all relaxed about it. It's like when I was at school, there's a kid that was there. He used to like pretend to flick you in the eyes, and then when you blink, he'd go, "Ah, made you blink." And it's like, yeah, can you stop? It was funny for like 5 minutes, but this fucking guy carried on with it again and again. And yeah, well, you're gonna end up blunting my blinking reflexes, and one day someone's gonna go and hit me in the face, and I'm not even gonna respond to it. Well then, I ended up getting punched in the face with my cheek broken, so there you go. Case proved. It's a costly case to prove, but ultimately I won. So Bruce is a bit of a fat old one to drag along. It's not letting this vehicle go too quick. Or the 1982 film thing. Funny, I was just about to mention that a minute ago. I almost was going to get that film as well. As a kid, that was the only film. Yeah, I was about 5 years old, but I bought admission watching the thing when I was a kid, and I've watched it since, and it is a bloody good film. And yeah, to be fair, it's probably the closest thing to like an actual horror, scary film. The Exorcist is more, for the most part, it's implied. I suppose the bit where she's like running down the stairs like some weird kind of spider creature, it'd be pretty freaky. But yeah, essentially it's just like a little girl that it's just the implication of getting possessed by something that kind of brings the horror in that film. Well, her face though, it's just, as a kid, every time I'd see her face, it used to give me the heebie-jeebies. I suppose it probably still does, just not as much. But I can't remember if I said years ago, my mate, he had a PC with like surround system, and his dad was pretty minted, and he had like some 12 speaker loud as fuck surround system. And some of you might remember this from back in the day, like probably early YouTube, maybe not even YouTube, where it'd like play a video and writing would start scrolling up on the screen, a bit like the Star Wars, kind of the beginning of that. But the writing would get smaller and smaller, and you'd naturally just lean forward and squint in trying to read the writing. And then it flashed up the Exorcist face and did loud screaming. But because he had this fucking like all singing, all dancing surround system, the loudness of the scream, yeah, absolutely shit me up. To the point where for a second or so, my body did actually lock up. Like, you know when you see in horror films when people are getting chased and then they trip over just a nothing twig on the floor, and you kind of think, yeah, that wouldn't happen. Yeah, the amount that scared the shit out of me when it flashed up and screamed really loud. I actually did, like, felt like I locked up for about a second, and then I could move again. And then, yeah. I mean, I was kind of pretty scared of the old The Exorcist before that. I'd already watched the film by then. I watched that, yeah, when I was about 10, I think. And, yeah, like, the film used to scare the shit out of me ever since, but then, like I said, I bought the extended version or whatever, watched the whole thing, the whole goodness, watched it about 3 times. It was on Halloween as well. I went all out, like, 1 in the morning. Well, actually started about 11 at night on Halloween, and then, yeah, kind of, I think I watched The Exorcist about 3 times that night, and by the end of it, I was cured. Is there any quick little missions on here before I go? There kind of is. Again, I need to drive to like these locations and get them. Let's pack up. Let's go and check that out quickly since I'm pretty close. Am I facing the wrong way? Yep. Proper non-CGI scare tactics. Yeah, is that the thing? It is like, yeah, that actual thing. Is that it's pretty freaky even by today's standards. And that newer film, The Thing, from like 2011. It's not a bad film, but you can tell like that's got CGI. There is something about like proper old school sort of horror, even though I know it is still fake, but it kind of just looks a lot more real when it's like that, whereas CGI, for the most part, there's a few rare exceptions where CGI is pretty good. That springs to mind. So Jurassic Park, is a pretty realistic looking T-Rex running around. You can't really tell that it is, like, if you could take that film back to 1950 and show someone and say, yeah, look, I've got footage of a T-Rex, they'd probably buy it with that film. And then another film that should get some pretty good credit for how good the CGI was back then was Terminator 2 with the T-1000, like where he phases through the prison bars at that mental hospital and that, and then he gets the gun caught. Yeah, considering how old that film was, that was some pretty respectable CGI. There's probably the odd one like where after he crashes that truck and he walks out the flames under the bridge and he's all silver and that, you can kind of tell a little bit that that's CGI, but not too bad. Alright, let's tell you what, there's one last mission then. This does look like a job for the goddamn horse. Way out. Normally can. Although it's usually like when you land on solid surface, yeah, I was going to say he gets his ass caught a bit. When it's on mud, he usually just fucking butt slams the mud out of the way. Where have I got to take this then? Yeah, that's what she said. What could possibly go wrong? Which way do I want to go? Which way is the map? I don't want to use too many roads if I can help it. Let's try that. Was that, remember those guys who broke into your cabin? Oh, was that, yeah, when I got robbed. Funny enough, actually, well, not got it right now, but I found that picture the other week of like the axe hole in the side of my my caravan. When my mate tried to axe one of the people, but missed and axed my wall instead. Still, respect it. When you got a mate that's willing to kill someone with an axe for you, you gotta appreciate it. Well, it may not have been the best way to go. We will figure it out. Oh, come on. What is a little side thing on the trailer? Pretty brutal. Bush. Well, time some drinking and driving while playing some SnowRunner. Sounds like a perfect weekend. It's kind of funny now how, like, frowned upon and illegal drink driving is. Not that I'm specifically singing its merits. Particularly people who get absolutely smashed and then smash people up, but yeah, just back in the day it was kind of one of them grey areas, like, well, I've had a few, but if I drive slow, she'll be alright. Which I can't remember if I told you before, like, also I can't say who it is or anything, but I know of a guy that was drink driving. He'd drink drive every single day, and to be fair, he's one of the few people where... Oh, I'm in reverse. That's probably why I'm not going forward. He's just one of them people where it's like he could genuinely drive drunk. I've would happily get in the car with him when he's hammered, because he was so used to driving hammered that that was just normal. But he eventually got pulled over by the police one night and busted for drink driving and all the rest of it. And then the very next day, he went out drink driving, and there was a police car coming the other way. Like, this is bad, but it's kind of funny how bad it is. Yeah, there was a police car coming the other way, and he screwed up his beer can and threw it out the window at them. And then obviously they pulled him over again. And yeah, he ended up losing his license for 7 years, I think it was. It's a bit of a hefty one. And again, not saying I'll promote it or anything, but you know when someone goes to the extreme of something like that, it is pretty funny that he did throw a beer can at them. It didn't go too well for him. Just enough. And Lake Placid 1 looked really nice too. Lake Placid 2 kind of looked fake as hell, but I thought good. 1, yeah, I've definitely seen Lake Placid 1. I might have seen Lake Placid 2. It's always one of them where obviously the original film did really well, and then there must just be like some company that buys the rights to, you know, do a sequel to the films, but they've not got as much of a budget or anything. Kind of happens with a lot of stuff. Even think like Aliens 1 and 2 are obviously pretty phenomenal films, and then is it Alien 3, where it's like a CGI alien and it gets hatched out of that dog, and it just, yeah. And for an alien, like in the Alien franchise, obviously you could tell, even for that, the budget was clearly a lot less than in the first 2 films. Oh, we got there. She made it. Oh, got it. See, there's loads scattered all over the place that I've not even got yet. Tell me where the drilling equipment is. As I might call it a day in a moment. I just have to go and check this one out quickly. Right, I'll do this as the last thing, and then we will call it a day. That's the starting point. Okay, we're doing it. God, remember when the Sci-Fi Channel would do this crappy sequels to really good movies like The War of the Worlds? Yeah, exactly. It's that sort of thing where it just must be like when the main big companies have kind of like, they don't want to do a sequel. I don't know. They must just sell the rights to, yeah, let some kind of like smaller up and coming company to give it a go. And yeah, it's one of them. It's like, bless them, they tried, but it just ain't the same. Like, could you imagine, for example, a crappy low-budget remake of John Carpenter's The Thing? It just, I don't know, like a little hand puppet coming out of like someone's stomach or something. It just really, it'd go from like a pure scary, gory horror to just kind of like a bit of a laughable mess, really. There is certain films that really do need like the big budget to, well, I mean, yeah, another one is Jurassic Park. Like the fact that the CGI in that was like good enough that you really like just don't notice it or anything. Like, credit where it's due, it does look like an actual T-Rex and various different dinosaurs running around. But if they had like a low budget version of it, it'd just be a complete disaster, really. Like, every now and then I bang all these like weird cheap sci-fi films on. I was watching one the other week and I can't remember for the life of me what it was called or whatever now, but That was the same thing where it had some horrifically shocking, yeah, attempt at CGI. Right, kept saying, well, oh sorry, I'm going to end here. It usually does happen. It's one of them and then moments. Relative dimension. Oftentimes it's a studio that owns the rights, wants to cash in on a sequel, but the director that made the good original doesn't want to. Yeah, that sounds about right. That makes a lot more sense. It's always about that money. That's why most films and franchises that you can think of, really, they're even if like the original films are absolute top shelf films, they sort of eventually it tails off, because I think, yeah, they just keep going, and like there's always going to be someone that wants to crank out another one for the old money. I mean, even, yeah, biggies like Terminator 1 and 2 are great. I mean, Terminator 3 and 4 and that, I don't think they're terrible films or anything. They're just nowhere like the caliber of Terminator 1 or 2. I suppose like the CGI and everything's not terrible, but yeah, Aliens, that tailed off. All sorts of stuff. Yeah, shit, what was this one I was going to? What? No, which way does it want me to go? I think it's to the right. In fact, yeah, but... so the studio just has someone else do it for them, yeah, and they usually suck. One thing I just thought of, they should let us add our own playlist so we can listen to it while we drive in the cabin. It'd be cool, yeah, I won't say no to that. What's the gold time? 4 minutes. Yeah, there is a few ways they could kind of utilise music and so on. I suppose like proper music that's just, yeah, the copyright licenses and all that for it. But like I say, if they let us do our own playlist, then yeah, that kind of circumvent that problem. Stage completed getting in the way then. A bit of a bouncy one going on this route. See, even on those little bushes. It's genuinely one of the few vehicles that can just use them for the vast majority of time. Every now and then he will pluck one out of the ground, but 9 times out of 10 can yeah, get his way out of a sticky situation with them. Usually it's bushes that get you into a sticky situation or an other one. That's not like drift going on there. Good for the time, should be on for a gold. prancing horse Ferrari badge pose. I could certainly shave a bit of time off that mission, but or contest, whatever it is. It should be alright for gold. After you've gone round the lake, still got a bit further to go. Job's good on 560. It's pretty skimpy on the money. But anyway, yeah, that's another one done. Like I say, I'll probably call it a day there. Got a few things done. I'm not going to do any more missions. I just want to see. Did I unlock? None on there. Down on the D-pad, chooses now to give up on me. There we go. Just had to slap a bit more warranty into it. No, still only let me have these missions at the minute. It's not doing that. It's done that to me so far on my normal playthrough. But yeah, it's only letting me do the Harvest Corp missions for whatever reason. Which, yeah, I'm not going to get into now, but we'll save them for next week. Dennis, is that Gagney? Aha, wheel lift extreme. He does like jumping around. He is pretty stable though. That isn't just a horse joke either, although it can be. It doubles as a horse joke. But yeah, I think he handled that pretty well. I was kind of the first time I rolled was more my fault. I was looking at the comments, I didn't even look where I was going. But yeah, we got it done. We got a gold. There's another one in the bag. And yeah, I'll I'm trying to think. Yeah, I've got a few things to do again this week. I'm trying to get everything done so I can just get back to normal, cranking out some daily videos. But there might be a few interruptions this week, but hopefully should be at least once Christmas sort of time comes round. Yeah, should be a bit of peace to get on with some videos. But yeah, thanks to everyone for popping in. And enjoy the rest of your morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time it is where you are. And yeah, I'll be back soon.